Welcome to the Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Josh Kimmel, Dave Campbell, and Justin Bowerly.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and tonight we are talking AFC and NFC West divisions like we've been doing all month long. This is the last division preview, of course, before the season starts. We have drafts coming up this weekend. I know I have a bunch of drafts coming up this weekend. I'm sure you have a bunch of drafts coming up this weekend. I know someone that's drafting right now, and his name is Justin Bowerly, and he's also my co-host, my friend, my BFF. The one who texts me first every single day and the one who texts me last every single night. Justin Bowerly, come on in, man. Let's go.
I'm telling Dave.
Well, it's true. Actually, I texted you first this morning. I believe I did.
Did you?
So, yeah, I did. So, how you been?
It's awkward. Great.
Great. Yeah, we have a guest tonight. I didn't say that up front, but we have a guest tonight. No, it's not Dirtbag Dave. He is not here tonight.
We start bringing Dave on as a guest for now.
We just need to, no, you know what we need to do? We just need to get a some kind of like fat head above him, like on either your side of your room or my side, just Dave's face. So he's like literally always here every single show, maybe once in a while. I don't know. But we have a guest today. We'll get to him very shortly. Jocelyn, I have some things I want to run by you real quick before we get to the main show, the main topic, right? We got some drafts going on. I just want to ask you personally, 1-to-1, how many drafts do you have this weekend? And is that invitation to Indianapolis still alive?
Invitation to Indianapolis is always alive. So if you want to escape your kids this weekend, feel free to come to Indy. I will make a draft spot open for you. I have one going on right now that doesn't count as this weekend though. We have the Finstock Sports Network one on Friday night, which we will be live at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all the places. And then I've got my home league on Saturday, and then I got one on Tuesday. And then I am done for the year, hopefully.
Done for the year. All right. I'm not going to break down my schedule because it would bore everybody, but why not do it just now? I'll be here tonight, OUS Fantasy on Finstock Sports Network. I'll be on tomorrow night, Real Talk Wrestling. Yes, I talk professional wrestling. Thursday night, I will be here Friday night, streaming our FTSN draft with my buddy Justin Bowerly, and Dirtbag Dave will be there. At least he said he would be. I'll be here Saturday afternoon breaking down Bash at Berlin after the WWE pay-per-view over there in Berlin. And then I finally get a break and I get to do a fantasy football draft. So I'm super excited for this entire week. I am jam-packed. And then I'm leaving on a plane to Las Vegas. And you will not see this face for your week one previews or your week one post previews, reviews. I'll still be in Las Vegas. So Justin's going to be taking care of that while I'm away. I hope you guys are going to know you're in good hands. So let's get to our guest in here, Topher Kurt. Topher Kurt we just had a great time talking movies. I wish we could talk more movies before the show. That's what we did. Yes, we did. Of course, Topher Kurt, your first time on the show. Where can we find you and what are you known for?
Okay, so first you can find me on X, Twitter, whatever you call it these days, at TopherK44, TOPHERK44. And what I am known for is, I don't know. I got a quote tweeted by Erica Tamposi of the Around the NFL podcast fame one time. So I'll do that. And right now I just started a new gig with goingfor2.com. And I am writing about how 10 different sources do different rankings every single week. So like the fantasy footballers, for instance, have Marquise Hollywood Brown like 25 spots lower than every other source. So I find those anomalies and pick them out.
Oh, that is very, very interesting. Actually, 10 sources. There's this one source. I'm not going to name names, but my buddy sends me and he subscribes to it once a year and I get it. And I love those people over there. Everyone out there putting your rankings out there, the big names, the little names, it takes a lot of guts to put those out there. And I give you all credit for it. Like it's hard. We're just doing it this season and I'm terrified.
And all I'm doing is judging it. And as a teacher, it's my job to judge my students all day, every day. So I feel very qualified for the job.
Yeah. So we have some camp news or preseason news, whatever you want to call it, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. If you've been watching, you know this is the. I don't like the preseason. I think it's all fake. I think it's all one big mirage. I think what we see is not what we're going to get. But the injuries are real and the cuts are real. So, are there any notable cuts from preseason making the 53-man roster that if you guys have seen that maybe I have missed? So, Justin, I'm going to start with you.
Really the Kadarius Toney was cut. He's not picked up by anybody. Is that really news though? I mean, not really. Allen Robinson was cut, and now he's on the practice squad for the Lions. Man, how did his life comes at you quick for Allen Robinson?
Yeah.
It does.
Really quick.
I mean, there's a lot of guys on this list. I just wrote down a couple. Bailey Zappi, life came at him real quick as well. I mean,
Chiefs
Tim
practice
Patrick,
squad now.
and Tim Patrick. I saw that today, and I was like, wow, he got cut, man. Like, what a rough time, Topher.
Also, Lions practice squad.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
him.
right. Lions trying to figure out who their second receiver is if Jameson doesn't pan out.
Yeah, they're gonna need to.
Yeah, I gotta say, Desmond Ridder as a cut really surprised me because he was a starter last year. Was he a viable starter? No, obviously. But he was cut. That was kind of the biggest one for me. Probably Samson Nakua as well, just because of Puka. And he had that brilliant kick return or punt return. I can't remember. It was a return. That was glorious.
It was a return off of a missed field goal.
That's right. So I was wrong either way. So, yeah. So those two kind of after the ones you've mentioned are the ones I think.
Yeah, I mean, these guys will find homes. I think Tim Patrick's days are not done. That guy, I believe most people I know at least were talking really, really good things about him, and just hasn't fizzled, or he's fizzled because of injuries. Frank Gore Jr.
Yeah,
come on, man. I was rooting for the guy. I hope I haven't. Did he find a spot yet, Justin? I know you're on top of this.
Not that I've seen at all.
No.
Our friend Sean would have told us that Frank Gore Jr. was signed with literally any team. So
I think that he just needs to end up a 49er. Elijah Mitchell's out. It's good for the brand. Like, just get him on your practice squad even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to talk about signings. There was a big signing today too.
Oh, who was that?
Dalvin Cook.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
RB2 for the Dallas Cowboys. It has the oldest two-back system in the NFL.
I think, yeah. Actually, you know what? You're right. I was about to say I was going to take a shot at Los Angeles Chargers with Gus, but I'm like, wait, J.K. Dobbins, he's not quite up there.
You got some younger guys, yeah.
So yeah, those are some notable cuts. We have some notable injuries as well. Some I am really not aware of. I'm going to burn through these real quick. We're not going to spend too much time on them. Just in case you're drafting this weekend and you didn't know this going in. We'll name some out here. Justin Herbert. Walking boot, right? That am I wrong on this one?
I think I saw he was supposed to be in a walking boot for a little bit because of
plantar fascia injury. I just didn't want to pronounce that word. I was hoping somebody could help me out because I can't do it. CMC with that calf, we knew that about a week and a half ago. If you don't know, Jonathan Brooks will start the season, not starting. Yep. Be expected to be back after this injury clears up. So if you didn't know, Tyreek Hill hand. What's up?
Nope. Keep going. You probably already have him.
Tyreek Hill hand. That's very minor. He's good to go. Don't worry about it. Deontay Johnson came back from a growing injury, I heard, and then left with a foot and ankle. So ungood there, if you didn't know. Christian Kirk calf, right? Just lingering injuries. Puka's day-to-day with a knee. Hopkins is out 6 weeks. Man, Justin's laughing on the inside. Josh Downs, this will get back at you. Josh Downs, August 7th, we know, with the high ankle sprain, expect him to miss a couple weeks. And Leggett, the rookie out of the Panthers, the Carolina, hamstring, and AJ Dillon, IR, neck, ungood.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all the injuries I had.
Others to note, Ricky Pearsall probably won't play for a little bit. The rookie for the 49ers. Chubb and Hawkinson both start on the PUP also. So they're out the first 4 weeks, no matter what happens. And then non-injury related, we still are waiting for Ayuk and the 49ers to figure out what they're doing. We're still waiting on Jamar Chase and the Bengals to figure out what they're doing. Because one day after the Bengals said, yeah, Jamar Chase is going to play, Jamar Chase shows up 13 minutes late in street clothes. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That's always a great way to back up your coaches right there. Show up exactly the way that you shouldn't. Tyler Lockett's been sidelined for quite some time, so there's no timeline. It doesn't seem serious, but that is something to watch for. And Jalen Warren's been having some hamstring troubles. He's supposed to play week 1, but you never know with preseason injuries.
Yes.
CD Lamb is listed as NA, which I've never seen ever, but everybody's prepared for him to receive a full workload. I think it's more of just a precautionary. He might not be ready for week 1 because he's not practiced at all this season yet. So that's something to keep in mind if you are drafting early, that you might be out with one of your top guys, thinking, Jamar Chase, CD Lamb. That's about
Just
it.
Take those two at the 12, 13 turn right there, and you won't have your first 2 players.
If CD Lamb somehow makes it past 4,
I'm thinking triple flex quarterback league, not super, triple. Yeah.
Super flex 2 quarterback league.
That's there you go. There you go.
Yep. Been in those. I'm not kidding. We're gonna get to the preview, guys, but I have to ask Topher because I already asked Justin. Have you done any league home drafts? Have you been in any besides Scott Fishbowl? Because we've all done that. But I'm talking about home leagues or anything that you put a sticker on a board. Have you done any of those yet?
I did my fantasy, my main dynasty league. We did our big weekend this past weekend. So did that. I run a keeper league and did that draft last night. My family league that got me started in fantasy football when I was 10 years old. I'm 32, so I've been in it 22 years now, which is pretty crazy. That draft's right after the show. But most of mine are this upcoming weekend after that.
Yeah.
Just a couple more.
It's the best. It's the best time of the year.
It is.
And I say this every single year, and I'll continue to say it till I'm off this air. This is the foundation. This is not the most important part of your season. The most important part of your season is start sits and waiver decisions. The draft is just a foundation. You cannot lose it. You cannot lose it, but you can definitely not win it. So just don't go crazy. That's all I'm saying. You can't lose it and you can't win it. Just let it come to you, and then you work from there. I just feel like for 3-4 months, we're who are we taking at 1? Who are we taking it? We don't ever talk about the mid round. We're just always focused on that one spot, and it just drives me bananas. Let's get into sorry if I just ruined the mood. It's something I'm passionate. My boss told me today at my real job, when you're passionate about something, you should express it. So I just wanted to express that. All right. Damn. All right. We got quarterbacks. We have a good quarterback group in the AFC and NFC West. We have Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, like super studs. Justin Herbert's a little bit down this year. People are down on him because of obviously the missing weapons. We saw that Mike Williams left and Keenan Allen's gone, and his running backs are gone, and his tight end's gone, and his coach is gone. Basically a man all alone. With that being said, in a single quarterback redraft league, are we even drafting Justin Herbert in 2024? Topher.
Ooh. Single quarterback? I definitely am. If I have a quarterback that's in the later, if I'm going after, let's say, after the tier of Jordan Love, let's say I get Caleb Williams or a Jaden Daniels or a rookie, then I would put Justin Herbert there because Justin Herbert does have some great upside. We've seen that time after time, but his whole supporting cast is gone.
Pretty much. He's left with some secondary players who haven't really proven themselves. Justin, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a different question. Now, if you put Patrick Mahomes in Justin Herbert's spot, I know it's crazy, bananas. Would we be treating Mahomes this way? Or is this a situation where, we don't think Herbert's that super talented. He's just a mid-round quarterback.
I think it's just history will show you what you need to see. Herbert has, I mean, last year he had Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler, and they didn't do anything. But new offense, I think just the fact that they bring in Harbaugh, who is a running-oriented coach, that's not really going to do it for Herbert. So people are leaning away from him. Mahomes has proven the fact that he can win a Super Bowl with nobody as a wide receiver, like literally just Travis Kelce. And that's it. So I think, and be a top 5 quarterback doing at the same time. So I think people are leaning more towards if you could put Mahomes on the Chargers, and I think people would still draft Mahomes.
Mahomes Topher is kind of weird to me because he's being drafted as quarterback 2 right now. He's very solid. I think he's been top 4 his entire career. I think last year was his lowest finish. Are you comfortable spending that draft capital on Patrick Mahomes in the 2nd, 3rd round?
It's not for me. That's not the game that I want to play, because if I'm going that early, I'm going with somebody that has the rushing upside of Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. I love Patrick Mahomes. I live in Kansas. So it's kind of contractually obligated. It's in my mortgage, actually, that I have to love Patrick Mahomes. But but I don't think so. I think that I can get a better, like, other skill player there that's going to benefit my team better than good old Patty.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Some of my home leagues, I'm just saying, it's just they're still drafting him as the elite quarterback, and I don't blame him. You know why? Because he's always going to be there for you. You don't have to worry about it. He's old reliable. He's not going. You don't have to worry about matchups with him, and he's that kind of quarterback to me. Where it's like he's in that situation where he's playing the Jets, cool, whatever, still going to put up 20. Who cares? Someone who's not in that situation to some is controversial is Kyler Murray. Justin, Kyler Murray's been a hot topic on this show for a very long time. He got sniped from me in Scott Fishbowl. Thank you, whoever that was. It still hurts. It still hurts. We had 4 live drafts in Orlando. Only 1 draft had Kyler in the 1st round. It was my draft. Anyway, so Justin, to you, Kyler, do you think he's going to pay off for his ADP? Because I think he's going quarterback 8. Do you think he's worth that value?
I think so. The rushing upside, like we've talked about, the rushing quarterback has become a premier position, a premier selection in the quarterback room. Add Marvin Harrison in there. Add Trey Benson with James Conner, who is a PPR running back. You add other wide receivers like Zay Jones, not for the first 4 games, but later. Apparently, is supposed to be good now. Michael Wilson, Trey McBride. Kyler has the weapons there. It's almost like the NFC. I was about to say the NFC version of the Bears, but the Bears are already in the NFC. It's the West version of the Bears, where they are supplying Kyler with literally anything and everything he needs to succeed. He should be good. I mean, Kyler has been good until he got injured. So hopefully Kyler can get back to being old Kyler. And I think that's what we're all hoping for, is Kyler being the Kyler he was with DeAndre Hopkins and go.
Well, I was going to say, Topher, follow up on that Kyler Murray statement. Do you think Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride are going to be enough to support this person being Kyler Murray, to be finishing top 8 in the quarterback position?
I mean, we've seen superstars from, I will say, a couple superstars with nothing really around them thrive in Arizona throughout the years. Larry Fitzgerald, DeAndre Hopkins. I think Marvin Harrison is going to be up in those ranks, going to be just dominant. And I think having that plus Trey McBride that broke out, I think that's going to be plenty, especially because Kyler gets enough with his legs. If Kyler's healthy, Kyler's a top 5 QB.
Oh, 1000%. You cannot argue with that. Last thing on quarterbacks, I'm going to ask you both this question. Justin, I'm going to let you go first. Pick one quarterback, good or bad, that's going to shock us this year. So I'm going to ask you the same question after this, by the way. So you could think.
In the AFC West, or I'm sorry, in the West divisions?
West. In the West, yeah.
Okay.
Good or shock us? Or I'm sorry,
Good or bad? You can only pick one.
or bad.
Which quarterback's gonna either
Uh,
bad us or
and
good
we'll
us?
just straight up shock us.
you choose one, and I'll choose the other side of the coin. We'll play
Sure.
good cop, bad cop here.
I'm gonna pick Geno Smith. Is gonna shockingly be very, very bad this year. New head coach, new offensive scheme. Lockett's getting older. DK's just to me. He's been a top 12 wide receiver once in his entire career, and that was in 2020. I think Geno's just going to be okay this year. Like he's not. He was great, then he was good, and I think we're going to go back to seeing very average Geno Smith this year.
Yeah. So I've got to take the surprise us. And I think anything out of Denver would surprise us, but I think Bo Nix has a potential to surprise us. I think he holds a record for the most games played by a quarterback in college, 61, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, blame one of these two. But but I think that Bo Nix could shock us. Not anything like top 12, but I'm thinking like he could be a sneaky mid QB2, put up some Trevor Lawrence-esque numbers, and people be very shocked by that.
Oh yeah, I'd be shocked by that 1000%. I do want to piggyback on your Geno love hate, or your Geno Smith hate. It's very possible he does fall back to earth. If you're familiar with the Harry Potter films, he did drink that liquid luck 2 years ago, and it's been wearing off ever since. It has. So it could be time that we see some new blood in Seattle, and it's going to come very soon after the season, I believe. Do you want to read off that question, Justin?
Fan of the show, already a sub. Am I crazy to think Saquon is in a CMC situation, or even better? I mean, look at that new O-line and offense.
Topher, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I was just going to say no, because I think Saquon Barkley doesn't have the receiving upside that CMC has. Also, CMC doesn't have to fight for goal line carries the way that Saquon will have to against his quarterback. So I love Saquon, but I think there's a very clear tier that CMC is above him.
I 1000% agree. We all can agree, though, this is the best situation Saquon Barkley has ever been in and ever will be in.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. Very, very on to Saquon this year, and he's going to be a first-round pick in all of your home leagues and all of your leagues this Sunday and Saturday. He wasn't mine, unfortunately, because I was picking 12th. Yeah, it was not good. I didn't get him anywhere. All right. So let's go on to the running back position. We have some pretty good studs over here. We have 3 of the top 10 in ADP right now are all coming from the AFC or NFC West. Those people are, of course, CMC, Kyron Williams, and Isaiah Pacheco. So that leads, you're going to keep on switching it forever because I'm going to give you guys a scenario, player versus player, head to head. Kyron's going ADP 7 right now. Pacheco's going, did I say wide receiver? Going running back 7. Pacheco 10. Topher, for your value, for your safety, when you finally have you're looking at your sticker sheet and you're looking at those 2 running backs, who are you taking?
Oh, it's easy, hands down. I'm taking Pacheco. I had Kyron Williams last year in a few leagues because I was like, I am going to go wide receiver heavy and just take a bunch of running backs that I'm going to take flyers on. I got really lucky with Kyron in some leagues. And we saw quickly this coaching staff just took Cam Akers out of the mix. And then they drafted Blake Corn. Yes, he could be just another like rotational back. But then, as Josh was alluding to, is before the show, he was talking about his favorite thing is going on Twitter every day and reading through everybody's comments, just spending 4 to 5 hours doing that. And he loves seeing everybody freak out about Kyron Williams being a kick returner. I don't even put that stock into that right now because that was just announced today. Let's see how it goes. But Pacheco has the much better floor, I think. Kyron obviously has the ceiling, but I think Pacheco has that floor that I want to run with.
Yep. And I want to say yes, that's my favorite thing. I grab my coffee every morning. And I go, let's see what everyone's got to say today, and then I go on with my life. And again, I want to give credit Captain Joe King. He was the one who asked the question for Saquon. Thank you so much for subbing and for liking the show. Justin, do better next time with reading the questions. I'll take over from now. So.
Dang.
The look of shock and bewilderment right there.
It's just,
I gotta be a co-host, produce the show, and draft all at the same time.
If Dave's not going to be here, who's going to be the dirtbag, right?
Yeah, I'm the guest. I can't be the dirtbag until the second time I'm on here.
Oh my god, I'm gonna get a hat that's like DJ Dirtbag Jr.
Since we're talking Kyron in the Rams situation, I did not know this information. I had to go look it up. I'm like, okay, when's the last time they had a running back lead their back in yardage back-to-back years? Ooh. So I'm like, all right, 2023 was Kyron. Okay, he had 1,100 yards, right? Really good. 12 touchdowns. Awesome. 2022, Cam Akers, 786 yards, 7 touchdowns. 2021, Sony Michel, 845 yards, 4 touchdowns. Then it was Cam Akers again, 625 yards, 2 tutties. And then here's where we get it. Gurley, 2018, 2019. Gurley was dominant. 1,200 yards in 2018 and 857, but he had double-digit touchdowns in each year. So you take all that information. They can't have a back-to-back runner since Gurley, who's an elite talent, like one of the best of the best. Not only can they not sustain a number one running back from year to year, they can't even get a guy over 1,000 yards. Kyron was the first guy since Gurley in 2018. Like, this is red flags everywhere for me. And I'm not touching Kyler. We've been saying this since day one. The kick returning thing was, I don't care. It's nonsense to me. Like Topher said, let's see how it plays out. It was just announced. But that again, like, just the proof is in the pudding, guys. I'm not touching anyone in the Rams backfield. I don't want them. I don't feel comfortable with them. That's why I take Pacheco as well. Justin, do you feel any different?
No, I don't. Pacheco also plays on what we'd probably call a better situation with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, we've literally been talking about how Kyron Williams is not worth his ADP. ADP 7. We have him ranked 15. I mean, we have him ranked low for a reason, and this is way before the announcement last night where Kyron is going to be taking kick or punt returns. He's great for Scott Fishbowl. Scott Fishbowl's been over for a while.
Oh, he would have been 101.
So had this been announced for Scott Fishbowl, yeah, his ADP would be like the first round right now. But that's been over for 2 months, almost a month and a half.
Yeah,
we're talking like we're talking about redraft now, and I am not touching Kyron. Period. In fact, actually, he just went 203 in this draft, and I joked that a punt returner went in the second round.
It's just too much. Honestly, it's funny, but it's too much. It's the cost. It's too pricey, right? Why get the special organic peanut butter? We need to get Peter Pan, right? And what I mean by Peter Pan is just Pacheco. He's just as good. Gonna get the job done. Scores touchdowns on the best offense.
You get better value out of him. Three running backs later. Like, that's almost an entire round. So,
absolutely.
Right. Guys not being drafted so high, but are in the West. Unfortunately, we have Javonte Williams, we have James Connors, and Zamir White. Just a bunch of just average kind of Joes. But which one of these three guys I just named in particular, Connor, Zamir White, and Javonte, are you most interested in as your running back 2? I'll say that running back 2, Topher.
I'm going. This is going to make me sound like a Broncos fan. I'm not. But I just think that after watching the Broncos last year just become an abysmal dumpster fire, or what the Chicago Bears have been for a long time, go Pack go. That I think that Javonte is going to come back a year healthier and prove some things. I think James Conner would be your safest bet, but I think Javonte has your higher ceiling, not floor.
I don't disagree with you there. I'm a big Javonte guy, and I the same thing applies. Connor's like the safety net. Zamir White's the wild card. And I know Justin doesn't like James Conner, but do you like Zamir White?
Why do you gotta say I don't like James Conner? That's rude.
Don't
look at the show sheet. Don't look at the show sheet. Don't spoil things.
You are hitting strays today, bud. You're getting all of them.
I don't see Topher's dud on here, by the way. Did
I
you
haven't read
did
it.
you text your dud to
Oh,
Justin?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
he did.
yeah.
I got it.
I
I
got
have
it.
it.
All right.
I
How
have
come
it.
I'm in the unknown? How come I'm
Because
steering the ship and I don't know?
got it when I was driving it, and Jacob didn't hear about it.
I
all
got
right.
it. I'll give you a hint. It's a showstopper.
Can't wait. I can't.
He
Justin
did.
knows.
He did also already mention his name once on this show, and I was like,
Oh, I
okay.
did.
You
Ooh.
did.
Oh,
I
you
caught.
did.
I caught that. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think
I love
about
inside joke, and I love inside jokes. I'd like to be a part of one day. Michael Scott.
So Zamir White,
Maybe you should be on the podcast more.
Josh, you were literally part of the RB55 joke, so
I am part of it. All right, let's move on to Zamir White. Just tell me, are we talking with Zamir White still?
yeah, we're still like you just hated on James Conner for no reason, and then
You did.
asked
I
if
didn't.
I like Zamir White. He's fine. He's fine. Like starting running back, he bulked up a lot. Assumingly, he's going to be good for that offense. Gardner Minshew likes to air the ball out, but I'm not rushing out to go get him.
Not rushing.
I'm okay to draft him if he comes to me, but I'm not gonna reach 10 spots to go get him before the next round.
All right. I promised you guys I wouldn't talk a lot during the show. Do you have anything to say about the running back position before we move to wide receivers? Topher or Justin, or forever hold your peace? Go.
No, I mean this division has the best player in fantasy football at the running back position, so it's CMC, and that's about all I can say.
You know what?
I mean-
I will ask this. And no, don't lose your point. I'll ask after. Go ahead.
You're all good. Oh, I was just gonna say Kenneth Walker is getting some really big hype, and now that Pete Carroll isn't at Seattle anymore, we can maybe start trusting the coach speak there. We couldn't before, but he's getting talk of some 3-back workload. He's not anybody that's going to explode your team, but he is somebody that you could get him at running back, 16, 17, 18, and then end up being RB12, RB10.
Yep.
Just picked him up as RB17, and
1000%.
first running back on the board for me.
Yep. CMC, one last question. Super flex, is he the 101 or are we taking a quarterback? You can both answer this. Topher.
In super flex?
Yeah.
Super flex, I'm going quarterback every time.
Okay.
As a 101. Yeah.
Okay. I have the 101 in my home league. Super flex.
I don't know the last time I've ever drafted 101, period.
I purposely did that in the Scott Fish Bowl because I wanted to feel special. And I took Josh Allen.
I did that last year and ended up with Travis Kelce. So good luck with your Josh Allen.
Crap. Do I need to sell Josh Allen now?
No, because I didn't pick him. Like, I didn't pick Travis Kelce. It sounds like Josh has a little witch's finger of death right there. So I'll be fine.
Whoever's got one this year in Scott Fish Bowl, you're going to be cursed. I can't believe that. Anyway, Travis Kelce. God. 3 quarterbacks. What about
Just,
okay? All right.
I'm enjoying your facial expressions a lot.
It's this draft board. Oh my god, my work league is killing me right now. Like, I don't know. I put the link into the show, so maybe they're listening to me. I don't know, but somebody just drafted their 3rd quarterback in a 1 QB league.
Solid. I like their strategy.
5 bench spots. 5 bench spots.
Trade bait, man. You remember? Yeah, trade bait. That's what they say.
It's fair.
Wide receivers. Right. We're stacked at wide receivers. We got the youngin Marvin Harrison. We got the old grandpa Devontae Adams, and of course the mid-round guys: Puka Nacua, Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf. Those guys are in their prime right now. I think the West is completely loaded with studs that we don't even talk about anymore. Maybe we have forgotten. Devontae Adams is one of those. Devontae Adams, to me, and I haven't given my opinion on the show as much about Devontae Adams as I made my short where I said don't draft him. I'm going back on that. I am takey backy on my short, and we're drafting Devontae Adams because Gardner Minshew is now the starting quarterback. And that was my worry. Who is going to be the starting quarterback? And I think Gardner Minshew is not a great NFL quarterback. He is just a fun, exciting quarterback, and he's going to take shots. And I think Devontae Adams is going to get up there to the 160 targets that I didn't think he was going to get before. So I'm pretty excited for Devontae Adams. Topher, do you share my enthusiasm, or are you just kind of off? The old guy.
as a Packers enthusiast and a lover of Devontae Adams and a hater of him leaving the team, I do have to say, Josh, you and I have agreed a lot today. But today I'm not agreeing with you. I love Devontae Adams, but I wouldn't take him as my wide receiver one while he was on the Raiders. I just wouldn't. There's too much volatility. It's going to be a very high low. It's going to be going to be a bigger outcome than Devontae Smith was last year, where sometimes he's like 2 for 5. Sometimes it was, 7 for 130 and 17 touchdowns. But I don't think that's something that I want as my wide receiver one. However, Devontae's clearly unhappy there. If the Raiders start off with a craptastic record, they trade Devontae, and I could see him being a second half season winner for you. So I think you keep that, come around the NFL trade deadline. You start looking out for Devontae. You start looking at that Raiders win percentage, and you go, okay, they suck. They might get rid of him.
That'd be fun. That'd be super fun. The NFL trade deadline has gotten so much more fun. When I was a kid, it was useless. It was like, whatever, who cares? Now we're seeing trades every year, and it's like blowing our minds, blowing my mind at least.
Yeah.
Justin, am I a fraud for taking Ibaki? I drafted Devontae Adams in the round 2, by the way, in one of my leagues. Round 2.
No, because this is fantasy, and we should be evolving as we go. Your Devontae Adams take was like in April or March. Like, it was early, and we said get rid of him in dynasty formats. Like, this is the time to sell. Like, you should have already sold him in dynasty. In redraft, I'm fine taking Devontae Adams that early because it's a 1-year thing. It's not like you're going forever. It's a little concerning just who's going to play quarterback for the Raiders. Right now it says Minshew. But as a Colts fan, like I saw what Minshew could do. At some point they're going to say, okay, is Aiden O'Connell our future? Like, if he is, we need to actually like give him more time. Otherwise, we need to start looking at the draft in the future. He's only a second-year player, so that could be good. And now I've stalled long enough to finally find the player card for Devontae Adams. He's still wide receiver 10 last year in PPR format. I don't hate that. I mean, he literally, the last 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 10. And from 3 to 10 was dropping off from Derek Carr to Aiden O'Connell and whoever else started.
Who else started for them last year, Topher? I cannot think of it. Anyone.
I don't remember.
That's how bad.
Josh Dobbs. I don't know. Raiders 2023 roster.
I don't know who it was.
Did Jimmy G? Jimmy G.
I think
and
Jimmy
Brian
started,
Hoyer.
Yeah.
Was it Brian Hoyer? Yep.
Yeah. He started
bad.
1 game. Yeah. Jimmy 6 games. Brian Hoyer 1 game. Aiden O'Connell 10.
Hey, if Gardner Minshew can make Michael Pittman look that good, I'm sure he can help out Devontae Adams a little bit, right? Like he saved Michael Pittman's career seasons last year, and I think he's going to revive Devontae until he gets traded. I didn't think about that. I would love for him to get traded to a contender. Good, that's awesome. Yep. All right, I'm gonna name some guys like I did in the running back position. Now we got Brandon Ayuk. He's unknown. We don't know what's happening over there. We have Cooper Kupp, who is also kind of unknown, but when he plays, he's awesome. When he's out, he doesn't do anything for you. Or DK Metcalf. I believe they're all, to me, grouped in the same situation, as in like you don't know what's going to be. Topher, who you feel comfortable with as your wide receiver 2, because they're not going to be your 1.
Oh, I'm going to take Cooper Kupp out of that group. I think that Puka was obviously awesome last year, but partially got his breakout due to the fact that Cooper Kupp struggled with injuries. Am I saying that Puka is going to slide downhill? Oh, gosh, no. With that beautiful hair, never. But I'm going Kupp out of those 3. Yeah.
I agree with that because of the upside alone. People are afraid of the injury risk. People are afraid because of Puka. I think this is going to be great for Cooper Kupp because he could run more. People are just like, oh, he's a slant guy. How come he doesn't get deemed as a slant guy like Michael Thomas did, Justin? Why do we hate Michael Thomas and not Cooper Kupp? You had no question. You have no answers.
It's
I have
because
no answers.
it's because Cooper is white.
I didn't want to say it, but that's what I was saying.
But also, when you're drafting here, like if you take Devontae Adams as your wide receiver 1, you might not want to take Cooper Kupp as your wide receiver 2 because they both kind of have this volatility risk. I would go with a Brandon Ayuk or DK Metcalf if I took Adams as my wide receiver 1 overtaking Kupp. Overtaking Kupp. It really depends on your team build as well. So you can't just go out of I've got 16, 17, 18. You also have to look at what else is on your team.
Yep. Roster construction is very important. Marvin Harrison is a hot topic this year. He's being drafted in the first, second round as a rookie. I'm going to ask the Indianapolis guy who watched Marvin Harrison his entire career. Justin, are you comfortable actually spending the draft capital of a first round pick on someone that you've never seen play a professional game of football in Marvin Harrison Jr.?
No. Simple answer, no. And I say this because I'm a hater. No, if he's like the 11th or 12th pick, I could consider it just because I know who I can get around the turn at that point. If he's 5 through 10, absolutely not. I will not spend that early on Marvin Harrison Jr. I'd rather spend it on somebody that has been proven. You can get guys like Garrett Wilson, Puka, AJ Brown, Jamar Chase, all those guys you can get in the same range. When was the last time a rookie wide receiver was drafted in the first round of fantasy drafts and finished as a top 12 player in the NFL?
Justin Jefferson.
Did he actually get drafted that early as a rookie though? Because he
No.
wasn't even the top rookie in that draft.
I didn't hear the question. I heard, did he say first round or top? What did you say? What was the top what?
When was the last time a rookie wide receiver was drafted in the first round of a draft of fantasy drafts, so top 12, and finished a top 12 player?
Okay, a rookie. I mean, but rookie running back will do it.
Never.
These
Running backs, yeah, because you're not fighting 4 other people for targets on your team.
Yeah. I would
Marvin Harrison Jr., he's not going to finish a top 12 player this year, and I'm not willing to spend a first round pick on him. Second round, okay. I'm not doing a first round.
Okay, you come to the turn. Let's talk about this. Devontae Adams or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
The beginning or the end of the turn?
Let's say you have pick 12. Pick 12 and pick 13.
I would go Marvin Harrison right there. Just looking at, value, because you can get Adams way later. So I would go Harrison there.
I had the 12th pick, and I took Marvin Harrison, and I took Devontae Adams. I took both.
There you go.
I literally took both. So that's my answer. Because my reasoning was, I want the high floor of Marvin Harrison getting all the targets there, and being the only one that matters besides, of course, Trey McBride. You can sell me your Michael Wilsons and your other guys and your Dolce, Dortch, right? You can sell me all those guys. Get out of here with that. They're not Marvin Harrison. He's going to demand all the targets. So I wanted the high upside. And I said, well, I want the safe floor of a guy who's going to get another 160 targets in Devontae Adams. So I got the best of both worlds. And that's what I thought I did. And I think I still did. So that's my answer.
I do want to throw out real quick, Marvin Harrison Sr. I watched him a lot because I'm originally from Iowa, tight end university. The first tight end that I really fell in love with was Dallas Clark. So you see Topher K44 in my X Twitter handle. That 44 is because of Dallas Clark. Literally, just started latching onto that number, and it became my number because of Dallas Clark. So I know Marvin Harrison Sr. pretty well after watching Dallas Clark all those years as well.
Yes, that's awesome. I love the era we lived in. That was the best. Peyton, Reggie Wayne, that was some good times. Good football.
I also went to the same childhood photographer as Kurt Warner. So Kurt Warner and I grew up in the same area and stuff. So that was very cool. I've been to the Hy-Vee he was working at before he played in the Super Bowl.
Oh. Look at that.
Super cool.
That is awesome. With that being said, I did mention Trey McBride. Let's get to the tight ends real quick. We're not going to spend too much time on these guys. There's 4 elite ones: Travis Kelce, Trey McBride, George Kittle, and Brock Bowers. Kind of like, again, the best of both worlds. You get the aging veteran, Travis Kelce, the GOAT, the best tight end of all time. Some people say. Is he your GOAT tight end, guys, Topher?
I would say longevity wise, yes. I would say Tony Gonzalez would be up there. I'd say Gronk is obviously up there, but he doesn't have the same longevity. But I would say like those 3, it's very hard to it's pulling hairs.
It's hard to argue, yeah. Gonzalez is fun to watch. Kelce just so smart on the field, and the longevity. And Antonio Gates, man. Antonio Gates played forever, and that guy was a stud. People forget about him. Justin, what about you? You're more of a Todd Heap kind of
guy? That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I would agree. I don't think he's the GOAT of tight ends. However, I would love to see like Antonio Gonzalez. I would love to see Gonzalez, Gates, all of them in today's NFL, where the tight end position is much different than the tight end position was 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Because the tight ends now are receivers, and that's what those guys were really good at. But they had to block more. Now the wide receivers, you don't even have to block in these days. Like, you can go out for passes all day and be a wide receiver like Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, just like Mike.
So I would love to see those guys play in today's NFL. And if they did, I think they would absolutely dominate. And Travis Kelce would be like tight end 5.
All right. Topher, real quick. Brock Bowers, the new hotness over there in Las Vegas. He's going to be probably the number 2 target next to Devontae Adams. Or is he? Do you see him taking over and actually, well, I mean, he's a first-round pick, but Mayers is still there.
I was actually hoping to bring up Jacoby Myers, because Jacoby Myers, the last 3 seasons, has finished as a wide receiver 3 or 2, and that's very unknown. He's going in the wide receiver 50s right now, and I still think that Jacoby can still carve out that, wide receiver 30 role. He was wide receiver 24 last year, wide receiver 24 in PPR. Like, the Raiders had 2 top 24 receivers last year, people. What the heck is this? So I think with hopefully a better offensive coaching scheme, I think that Bowers could still be that, tight end, lower tight end 1 as a rookie. We're not going to see what Sam Laporta did for 2 reasons. First off, that was an anomaly. Second off, Brock didn't go to TEU, University of Iowa. 2 reasons.
2 reasons. I like it. But will we see a Kyle Pitts season where he has he had 1,000 yards his rookie season. Kyle Pitts.
He did. Yeah.
So, I mean, that potential is there for him. Possibly.
I think, but Pitts had Matt Ryan thrown to him, right? Brock Bowers has Gardner Minshew. What I just don't think is going to cut it.
Probably not. Who was your tight ends in Indianapolis last year, Justin? Did Gardner ever feature them?
It didn't matter. I don't know. Mo Ali Cox, Colin Granson, like.
Yeah, it didn't matter. You can just say it didn't matter. No. What did matter was the finish. He did. What does matter is Trey McBride's finish and stride to becoming the best tight end possible he could be last year. I want to see it continue with this new Marvin Harrison added offense and with Kyler playing a full season. Are you comfortable, Justin, putting him up there? Because we have him pretty high in our rankings right now, man. Like, he's above some of these guys I don't think he should be above. Are we fine with Trey McBride being so high?
Yeah, I am. That offense is going to be good. He proved last year that he could be good with like nothing around him, and he was still the feature target. Now you had Marvin Harrison Jr. there, and that's going to take off a lot of pressure off of Trey McBride. So we're going to go back to linebackers guarding Trey McBride, which will be great for him. So I really do like the fact that Trey McBride he's going to get featured. It's going to be kind of like Dalton Kincaid in a way, like where he is the guy, but there's other guys there too, like Marvin Harrison. Like he's in a better situation than Kincaid, I think, to be honest with you, because he has other wide receivers around him that can catch the ball, whereas Kincaid has
Devontae Adams. Sorry, I was gonna say he's gonna get Devontae Adams week 9 when the Buffalo Bills need more wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Good call. I like that.
So yeah, I'm fine with McBride being 4. He's growing on me. So
all right. Topher, you got anything to say about Trey McBride? We're big supporters, by the way. Big supporters.
Yeah. I'm a Trey McBride fan as well. I think he's pretty close to a solid top 5 tight end, as you're probably gonna get pretty consistently.
Yeah, agree. We can all agree. I just want to say this before we move on to our duds. George Kittle will score you 40 points, and then 2, then 40, then 2. Not my cup of tea. Anyone have anything else to say about George Kittle? I love him. Me and him are wrestling fans. I'm sure we would get along. I just don't want you on my fantasy team. I'm sorry.
He's
love
the
George
only
Kittle.
He's the only tight end to get more than 1,000 receiving yards last year.
That's true, but Topher loves George Kittle. I mean,
I think that George Kittle, I think he is your boomer bust, but he also I think he has the highest ceiling of any tight end this year. Especially if they do trade away Brandon Ayuk, I think that he becomes top 2 tight end material easily. So
that's a hot take.
It is.
It is hot. Yeah, I'll say it's hot. It's hot.
It is.
I like it. I'm running with it. Let's go with the duds. Yours is still unknown to me. Do you want to start it off, or do you
Absolutely.
All right, let's go.
So I mentioned it was a showstopper. That's because we are traveling to Hollywood for Marquise Hollywood Brown as my dud. I took a look at his stats earlier today. He has only had one 1,000-yard season. He was placed as, when they released the 53-man rosters, Kansas City Chiefs had him as wide receiver 3, with freshly signed Juju Smith-Schuster as wide receiver 4. Why would you sign Juju if you're already comfortable with Marquise Hollywood Brown being your 3? You also don't have to love anybody that's starting the season with injury. Like, that just seems to be, kind of not a great place that you really want to dive into a lot. He has gotten, the last 4 years, he's gotten 100 targets, but last year, even though it was Arizona, he literally only caught 51 out of 101 targets. Like, not all of those throws were that bad. There's something there that he's never going to pan out to the wide receiver 1 that he was drafted to be. And I think you've seen Xavier Worthy show some spark. You've seen Rashid Rice, as long as he's playing, he's capitalizing on the field. Then you have Pacheco, Travis Kelce. Hollywood's your wide receiver, your 5th best option at best on that team. And we've seen time and time again that's not going to pan out on the Chiefs. Last year, number 3 receiver / tight end was Noah Gray with 28 catches. 28 catches with like 400 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns, something like that. I don't have the exact stat up, but it was like the 3rd option isn't there. Why would a 5th option on this team, this dominant Super Bowl team, you're not going to get more out of them?
He's going to give you splash plays, and I'm not against your take there. I'm drafting him in places, unfortunately, because he's falling. I got him super late in a couple leagues, and he's falling. People are on that because of the injury. But man, it's because he went from Lamar to Kyler to Mahomes. Like, what's the excuse, dude? Like, you've had top tier talent your entire career, besides, of course, last year where Kyler was hurt majority of the year or out. So Hollywood's got to put up or shut up, and I think this is the year.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Justin.
with you.
Yeah. Justin, who's your dud?
You spoiled it already.
Yeah, I
So James Conner. Currently being drafted as RB at 19. We have him ranked as RB 20 behind guys like Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Alvin Kamara, Kenneth Walker, but right before guys like David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, and Zamir White. I actually don't know why I have James Conner even ranked above DeAndre Swift, even by one position, but that's probably going to change. So he's going to get dropped even further. James Conner, 29 years old. He hasn't finished in the top 10 since 2021. When he first got to Arizona, he was RB5. He's only finished top 10 twice in his career, way early, and then 3-4 years ago. So he has the 29th hardest schedule for running backs this year in fantasy football. And when you're looking at average points per game projected, the league average for starting running backs is 17.4. He's projected to score 12.3, which is not good. Just not good. I don't like it. Plus, the Cardinals clearly are showing that they're looking for the future with Trey Benson. So once Trey Benson starts getting going, it's Trey Benson's ball from now on. We're looking at a new Cardinals offense with Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey Benson, Trey McBride. It's James Conner's getting phased out of this offense. So not looking good for him. So I would fully expect Trey Benson to take over and James Conner to be a dud in fantasy football this year.
Not to S on your point, but I can't. I do it all the time.
Not to do it, but here I go.
No, I don't hate James Conner. I don't like James Conner. He's just one of those players who's just there, and I'll take him if the value's there because I think he is going to play the majority of the year because you need to protect Kyler. I don't know if Benson has the pass pro down yet as a rookie, and you need to protect your asset, and that's Kyler. And James Conner's proven he can do that. And he's going to get like these annoying dump offs. He's going to catch like 8 balls a game. It's going to be super annoying. But he's not going to do anything with them. I agree. My dud. Mine's a layup. You picked Daniel Jones last week as your dud, so I can get my layup in, and it's Gus Edwards. Just because, and this is the only reason why, and I brought this up multiple times tonight in 2 of my leagues that drafted. Whenever that person who puts Gus Edwards on the board, I hear this twice. Ooh, good pick. Ooh, like, and they were being, you know how it's like, oh, good pick, bro. No, this one was like, oh, yeah, good pick. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's awful. It's an awful pick. He's going to do nothing for you. He's going to be just blah for you. He's just the most average, no upside running back that you could possibly have that you could never feel good starting ever. He's not even like a David Montgomery type Bears status where it's like, oh, yeah, he'll give me 10 minimum, but he'll pop off for 17 once in a while if he falls into the end zone. Gus Edwards, you're lucky if he gets 10 points. You're lucky. In games last year where he scored a touchdown, he's averaged 16.63 points per game. Pretty good. I'll take 16.6 points per game. That's awesome. 9 games. He scored a touchdown in a lot of games, but he was on a much better offense last year. With a little more, much better offense last year. 7 games he didn't score a touchdown. He averaged 4.9 points per game. That's unstartable to me. That's on the waiver wire. That's not a good running back for your team. So he's very touchdown dependent. He scored the most touchdowns in his career last year. He had 13 total touchdowns. The year before that, 3, then 6, 2, 2. He hasn't really had the opportunity. Now he's going to a team where he will be the lead dog at the goal line situation. You assume that. That's why they brought him in there. Jim Harbaugh's a very pound the ball kind of coach, they're saying. They're telling me. That's what they're telling me. That's what the newspapers are telling me. So I assume that they're going to pound the ball. But is it going to be good enough? It's, they got J.K. Dobbins there. He's not much of anything. They got this Vidal guy that Justin's in love with. He's been delegated to the special teams. No one cares about him anymore, apparently. So Gus Edwards is going to be the lead dog. Or is he? I don't know. I'm just staying away from him because the upside is if his ceiling is 16 points a game, but that's his ceiling, I'm out. I'm out. And I'm not taking him where he's even be drafted.
He reminds me a lot of Jamal Williams in 2022, where Jamal Williams scored 17 rushing touchdowns and finishes RB 13 on the year. And then he goes to New Orleans and finishes RB 61. He had
Yeah.
one good season, and that was his final season on this team, similar to Gus Edwards. The only thing that looks good between the two is Jamal Williams had to go fight against Alvin Kamara, which, if you know anything about Alvin Kamara, I would not want to fight. But Gus Edwards only has J.K. Dobbins, who literally has never played more than, I mean, he's played 9 games in 3 years. So that's not really a competition to me. Vidal probably will get up and down. They just signed Hassan Haskins, who used to run for Harbaugh at Michigan. Who knows what's going to actually, like,
Gus Edwards has had 30 catches in his entire career. Just want to put that out there. 30 catches. I think
very
I can
little.
catch
Oh
30.
my god.
I think
so
I-
low.
Oh my gosh.
He had 12
That's
last year, guys.
insane.
Career high 12 last year.
Woof.
So to the guy who said good pick, no, it wasn't a good pick.
J.K. Dobbins has more receptions than Gus Edwards does, and J.K. Dobbins has played a total of 24 games.
Let's wrap this bad boy up with our sleeper draft. Topher, if you don't know how this goes, we draft sleepers out of these two divisions. We do linear. We don't do snakes around here. We're a linear show. And apparently Justin has already gave us a positions. Like I already have I guess I'm last. So, and you're first.
Producer Jacob did that.
I don't know. He's not here right now. So
Me for things.
Anyway,
He's gotta have
so
a scapegoat. I get it.
yeah, I know. Anyway, I guess I'll take accountability. So we have a draft. You have the players. Do you have the players ahead of you? It's on the show sheet, Justin. Do you have that? I just want to make sure you have that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can draft anyone we want, and I'll let you start first.
Okay.
Topher.
So do they have to be sleepers or
okay, let's clarify this. We are talking redraft format, 1 quarterback, and we're talking like 4 to 5 bench spots, like very standard, like 15 round draft.
Okay. Let me explain it to you this way. The guy who grabs the sports almanac from Publix on the way to the draft, we're talking to him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Or her.
Okay. So that is good to know. I would have to say, sleeper kind of guys. You know what? I'm gonna go with Isaiah Pacheco. I think that he's being a little underdrafted, and I think that your fantasy magazines aren't going to tell you his true potential.
I you know what? In this context, that's a sleeper because you're right. People are gonna be like, oh yeah. Good call, Justin. You get to go next. Apparently,
you can go. I want second.
No,
you can go.
I've gone last every single draft. I've gone last every single draft.
Go.
And I'll stay in my position. I'm not trading my pick.
I wasn't even ready for this. Okay, so I was really hoping to go third this draft, but here Jacob is messing me up. You know what? I'm gonna draft this guy because no one else is gonna draft him. But when you do, and he doesn't face any time, you're gonna look great. Rashee Rice. I don't think people are drafting him this year. Not in the top 15 rounds. So his ADP is tanked because people are worried about it. But that first 11 weeks before he goes to court is going to look great.
He's being drafted in my leagues, unfortunately. Well, I want a deal, but he's being drafted still. Jacoby Myers is mine. We talked about him earlier. I think Jacoby Myers is going to be a solid running or wide receiver too. Topher already broke it all down for us. Draft him, man. He's safe. He is safe. Topher, you're up next.
If you draft a Seattle Seahawk this year, you need to walk away with JSN, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. I think with Tyler Lockett aging out, he also has an injury right now. You never know when he's going to come back. I think that JSN has the possibility to put himself in the top 24 wide receiver talk, and he's not drafted anywhere close to that.
You took my guy. That's all right.
You're welcome.
I love that. JSN. This is gonna be his year, man. All right, Justin, you can go next.
I'm going with the wide receiver 1 for the Los Angeles Chargers, Josh Palmer, who is getting drafted in the last rounds of fantasy drafts.
Good call.
Like round 15. Actually, in fact, producer Jacob he sniped me 2 picks ahead of me in the final round where I was going to take Josh Palmer, but he took him instead. And this was after he already sniped me in the 2 previous rounds on quarterback. So,
let's go.
We're a little
good job, producer Jacob.
Yeah, good job, producer Jacob. Can't show up.
He's in school.
Yeah, good to meet you. Good to meet you, Jacob.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Yeah, people are asking about you. They hear about you all the time. Okay. This was my sleeper before Trey Benson decided to get drafted. Michael Carter is still a love of mine. And yes, he is. I don't care how anyone says. Madden, he's fast. I played with him a lot. And I do still believe some of my dynasty teams, he's like my 26th man on my roster. I still believe one day Michael Carter will make an impact for somebody. And that's why I'm drafting him. I'm not going to let anyone steal him.
Josh, can I tell you something?
Did he get cut?
Michael Carter got waived yesterday.
No. Okay.
So you didn't believe in him enough, clearly.
Hey,
you didn't know where he was.
I don't know where I am. As you knew a couple hours ago.
I was going to say, when have we all started drinking on this show? Like,
Did he
why
get
was
cut
I
for
not
real?
invited?
He did. He got waived yesterday. Yeah.
This is grief happening right now. Everybody,
as soon as he was like, my love, I believed in him. I was like, God, he doesn't know.
You knew it, didn't you? You freaking bad. Okay. You know what? Just for funsies, Isaiah Garindo. Is he still on the team?
He is.
Yeah.
I think he's injured, but he is.
That's my guy.
Okay.
He's my new Michael Carter.
He plays for the San Francisco 49ers. Betty and John that are getting your magazines from Casey's on your way to the draft. Okay.
I got sideswiped, man. I know what's happening.
Okay, so is that back to me for a third one?
Yes.
Okay. Late round running back. Go with Jaleel McLaughlin. Denver. This is the third time I brought up Denver today. I feel gross. I'm gonna take a shower after this, probably in holy water, maybe a little vodka and tequila, but just wash it all off. But I think Jaleel is a good player to walk out of a draft with in the last 14th, 15th round if he's there or somewhere later. Just take a flyer on him. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Love it, Justin.
I'm going to go with the guy who I just drafted in the last round, Justin Herbert, because nobody's drafting him to even be a starting quarterback.
Ooh.
Nobody's even drafting him to be almost QB2 on their team, let alone just drafting him. So I'm going to take Herbert. I don't think he's really getting drafted in short leagues, and he's somebody that I'm willing to sit on a short bench because if he breaks out, he is going to look good. And now I have Herbert and his wide receiver 1 on my team.
There you go. I am making up for my deep Isaac, whatever his name is, pick. That was a panic pick.
Isaac.
Whatever his name is.
5 seconds left on the clock. That guy.
Yeah, that guy. That's exactly what I did there. But I'll go with the real one. Xavier Worthy, Kansas City Chiefs. I believe his upside is tremendous. And if he can find a spot above Hollywood Brown, which we all hope he can be. And then, of course, he's faster, more athletic than Rashee Rice. At least that's what they tell me. I think he's going to be the special one coming out of that group, and he's going to win you some leagues if he does pop off. So Xavier Worthy late is worth a shot.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that one. I like Worthy a lot. I think that he could be a steal in these drafts.
Yeah. So there's our picks, guys. If you're still watching, thank you so much. Tell us who you pick. Who do we miss? Right, Jacob Coig. Right? Did we miss this guy? Did we miss Trey Tucker? Right?
I think Jordan Mason is that his San Fran. He's going to be the running back too. There, I think that he could be a sneaky pick
until Frank Gore gets picked up.
Yeah, Frank Gore Jr. Exactly. If it happens, you heard it here first. Real quick story. I actually, when Brett Favre was saying that he wanted to be traded, whatever that whole thing that happened 20,000 years ago. I called into ESPN radio. They said you had to be 18 in order to call. I was like 15 or 16. And I called them like, yes, I'm a man. And I actually on ESPN radio predicted that he should go to a playoff contender like the Jets. The next week he was traded to the Jets. So that really is the pinnacle of my life. And when they say you peak in high school, that's really what they mean.
Dude, claim to fame. I think a lot of viewers right now can relate to that story.
Hey, Kay Adams quote tweeted me. What?
Oh, you're not
last
famous.
week,
You're not famous. You're not famous. All right.
Hey, don't shame him for that. Don't shame him for that.
You're right.
Who's quote tweeted you? We've
Bubba
had
Ray Dudley.
Hold on,
right?
We've had power. I don't know who that is. We've had powerful women in the football industry quote tweet us.
You know, I'm jealous. I really am.
It's John Cena that follows him though. So
John Cena follows.
Oh, okay. That's a win. That's a win.
Yeah.
There we go. That's fair.
We talk about it like every week. It's fine.
It's fine. Jose Canseco too. It's fine. No big deal.
See? Yeah. You know, you gotta take those wins, run with them, shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
You know, spray paint it on a house. That's not yours. You know, vandalize a little bit. It's all good.
And if you guys want to follow someone who has John Cena following them, go ahead and follow me, Josh Kimmel OUS. I won't be there though, but follow Justin Barley. He's definitely going to be there all day nonstop. Topher, where can we find you?
Again, Topher K44, TOPHERK44. It is not Top Her K. Some people have said that. I'm like, that's not how I roll, bro.
It's not how we roll.
Yeah, but I'm on Twitter. I pretty consistently in the evening. Not during the day. I'm a teacher, and I'm teaching kids how to sing and making fun of them for going through puberty. So I'm not looking at Twitter.
That job is awesome. Honestly, man, that has to be fun.
Sorry,
I forgot which button is our playoff button, so I'm gonna push a bunch until that one works. I'm not gonna lie. There we go. It's that one. Did that sound like one of your kids with puberty?
Yeah, you're like that's such a great fun job, and then just like somebody getting hit by a car. Outside your window.
If you're still here,
has gone.
If you're still here, drop a like. It's been a lot of fun, Topher. It's been a blast. Make sure you call to action, follow us, like us, subscribe us, whatever you want to do. Hey guys, we'll be here Friday for a mock draft during the day, noon on the Finstock Sports Network. I gotta get out of here. They're playing me off. Peace out, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. Follow on X and Instagram at OUSFFPOD. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.